comes the pressure. They pick it up, ball out. Lewis Cine came flying in, dropped him for a loss.
Give Cine a lot of credit, man. That was a big-time play.
A big playmaker indeed, Lewis Cine, which is why the Minnesota Vikings selected him with the 32nd pick of the first round. Welcome to Vikings Film Room. I'm your host, Pete Bercich. We're going to bring you in-depth analysis of all the Minnesota Vikings 2022 draft selections. Let's start with the playmaker, Lewis Cine. Go to the film and find out what he is going to bring to the table this year. The ability to roam the deep half as an NFL safety is extremely important. In this case, you're going to see Lewis Cine middle open in the red zone. Great vision in this case as he sees the quarterback turn and look, notices a receiver who's running up the field to the corner of the end zone, just gets himself over there, makes himself an easy interception. You got to be able to ball hawk in the NFL. Now, one of the things that an NFL coach can't teach is speed, and this guy has it, the closing speed. You're going to see a perfect example on this play as the receiver goes in motion across the screen just before the snap. He has this guy man-to-man. He's a little bit outside. Watch the bad angle turn into a good angle for Lewis Cine, and that's all about speed. You'll see the receiver doing the submarine boot, works his way, able to catch up and make that tackle. So from the end zone side, you can see this relationship between Lewis Cine and the wide receiver that he's going to cover. On the snap, you're going to see the head start that this receiver has. By the time he catches that football, Cine is there, makes a tackle, no gain. You can't coach speed. Our next play is a perfect example of a combo coverage, which Lewis Cine will have to play at this level. In this case, you're going to see the wide receivers, they're bunched up in a group. Trying to play man-to-man on this, very difficult. So what do? You take your defensive backs, the four of them that you have, and you play an area of responsibility. First out, first deep, first inside. And let these guys run their route. And you'll see Cine right here sifts through all that trash. And not only does he cover his guy, but you'll see that burst. You see that down the field burst, a great tackle, great job playing combo man. So when you're on a defense that plays a lot of man-to-man, offenses know it. So they're going to give you some things that are kind of tough to handle. And we're going to see Lewis Cine handle this play beautifully. What you have, man-to-man, up on top, you see him on the tight end. This tight end is just waiting for that pick route to develop right on top of him. This receiver's jamming him. He's trying to sell going to the flat. Lewis Cine, like he's already crossed over, thinking that he's got to get over the top and get outside. But as soon as this tight end whips his head around, he sees it, gets back, makes a tackle, almost stops the first down, but a beautiful reaction in space in man-to-man coverage. The reason coaches love speed is because it gives you recovery speed. And this is an example of Cine just kind of getting himself in a bad position. These are a couple of things that he's going to have to work on. As this receiver gets up the field, he has help on the outside. He needs to be a little bit more inside shade to help protect this post route that's coming up. Lets that receiver get on the inside, and then he turns the wrong way. You saw him, he turned outside. You want to man turn with this guy and stay inside. So in the NFL, in this scenario, he's beat. You've got this open area. He's running full speed. He just got done flipping his hips. But watch what happens. Able to put that head down, doesn't look back until he gets in the hip pocket of that tight end and that receiver and knocks that ball away. That's recovery speed. All right, another reason you love recovery speed, examples like this. In this situation, he's working himself to the middle of the field. You get the quick pass on the outside, but he sees that normally this guy's coming down the block. If this is going to be a short pass to run, but he sees that this receiver faking the block, running deep, trick play. Recovery speed on a trick play, it's imperative. He sees that, great vision, gets himself over to the sideline with plenty of time. Now, we'd love to see him jump in front and get that pick, but that's recovery speed. Now, another skill that's needed at this level is the combination of body and eyes, and this is a perfect example of what that means in coverage. You'll see in this case, Lewis Cine, he's covering up the slot. As that receiver gets upfield, this guy's running up. He has protection over the top. He has a safety, so he's trying to guard anything that comes across the middle of the field. Now, with this inside receiver running vertically, his body is taking away this throw. That quarterback can't throw to this receiver unless he puts so much air on it, the safety's going to get there. His body is here, but his eyes are on the outside receiver. And you'll see, they're going to try to run this dig route underneath. Outside receiver comes underneath, he comes off, able to make the tackle. body in one position, but eyes on another receiver. That's an NFL caliber safety. Now, we all heard about the run support, his ability to hit. Here we go. We're going to let this one roll. They start out with a 2-deep type of look. So he's normally in run support, you're about 7 yards deep. He's a good 12 yards off the ball, disguising, but watch what he can do. Sees the run, gets downfield, bam! Blows that shoulder right on that running back. Physicality, explosion, you gotta love it. I love physical safeties, so we'll have to give you another example. Now this is something that needs to get cleared up. You see these guys looking to the sideline, a little bit too much communication. These guys have to be responsible for their own checks. This is college, so they're looking to the sideline quite a bit. Gets down into the box just a little bit late, but watch what he ends up doing. Sees the run, comes up, stops the running back in his tracks. A big hitter from the deep half. Now, a great example of him being down in the box as a run support guy, but his ability to play off what's happening in front of him. This is a perfect example against the University of Michigan. As this ball snapped, he sees this blocking scheme in front of him. Double team, kick out. This is his gap that he has to step up into. So as he comes up, he gets a feel and notices this defensive end decided, I'm gonna come inside. So he plays off of that, keeps his shoulders square, keeps shuffling, fundamentally very, very sound, and just plays off what's happening in front of him, rallies up, makes the tackle, and stops the running back at the line of scrimmage. Very, very good run support safety. Now we know Lewis Cine has speed, but by analyzing the film, we see he's able to play combo man coverages. He's able to have his eyes on one receiver and his body take away another. These are the skills that we expect to see out of this young man this year, and we're looking forward to a lot of big plays.